Hello, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a concept that might just change the way you see everything, from the stars in the sky to the thoughts in your head. We're talking about Microvita.
I mean, think about it for a second. We've gone to the moon, we've split the atom, we feel like we have a pretty good handle on things. But what if there's a whole layer of reality we've just completely missed? What if the real key to understanding life, consciousness, and even health lies in something far subtler than anything our best microscopes can see?
All right, so to really get our heads around this, we first need to take a look at the very edges of what we think we know. We have to go beyond our current scientific map.
You know, our standard model of science is pretty straightforward, right? Everything you see, everything you are, it's all built from these tiny little particles: atoms, electrons, protons. This is the bedrock of physics, of chemistry, of everything. But what if that's not the whole story?
And this quote from P.R. Sarkar, who is the source for this whole explainer, it really hits the nail on the head. His theory points out a huge blind spot. Our reality is defined by what we can perceive. If we can't see it, touch it, or measure it, we tend to act like it doesn't exist. But what if the most fundamental things operate just beyond that boundary?
And this is where things get really wild. The theory introduces a brand new player onto the stage of existence. So let's get a clear idea of what we're talking about.
So according to Sarkar's framework, Microvita are basically the missing link. They're not quite physical in the way we think of an atom, but they're not purely abstract like an idea either. They exist on that razor's edge right between the two, and this is huge. They are not based on carbon, which, as you know, modern science calls the very foundation of life.
Now, it's not just one thing. The theory breaks them down into a spectrum. First, you've got the crude microvita. Some of these might even be what we already see under a powerful microscope and call a virus. Then you move up a level to the subtle kind. You can't see these, but you can perceive them by what they do, by their effects and vibrations. And finally, the subtler category, which according to this philosophy can only be perceived by a highly developed mind, almost like seeing a pure concept.
So you're probably wondering, how do these things even travel? Well, get this. The concept is that they move without any barriers, all throughout the cosmos, and they use our senses and even our thoughts as their highways. Sound, touch, sight, smell, and even abstract ideas, these are the media they travel through.
Okay, so it gets even deeper. The theory isn't just about these tiny entities. It's about a fundamental duality, a constant cosmic push and pull that shapes absolutely everything.
And here is the absolute core of the idea. You've got two teams, basically. On one side, you have positive Microvita. They're described as pro-mind. Their job is to elevate, to build, to spiritualize. They start in the realm of mind and then influence matter. On the other side, you have negative Microvita. They're pro-matter. Their job is to break things down, to degrade, to crucify. They start with matter and then influence the mind.
To make this real, let's use a super simple, everyday example. Think about the process of turning milk into healthy, nutritious yogurt. The source says that this constructive, life-giving transformation is the work of positive Microvita. It's a process of synthesis, of creating something better.
And on the flip side, what about decomposition? Well, the breakdown of a body after death is presented as the work of negative Microvita. It's a process of disintegration, of returning to crude matter. You see the pattern? Two simple examples, two completely opposing forces at work.
Now, here's where it gets really personal. This whole cosmic battle, it's not happening in some distant galaxy. The theory says it's happening inside every single one of us, right here, right now. I mean, this is the whole shebang. This balance or imbalance of positive and negative forces is said to be the hidden influence behind our physical health, our moods, our emotions, even our highest aspirations. It's a constant battlefield for equilibrium inside our own bodies and minds.
And believe it or not, this idea connects back to ancient classifications of influence, known as Devayonis. Just look at this table. Each type is said to nudge us toward a specific human tendency. For instance, Yaksha is linked to the drive to accumulate wealth. And way on the other end, you have Siddha Microvita, which are thought to help us in our spiritual lives. It's presented as this incredible hidden framework for understanding our own inner drives.
Okay, so the theory makes a really bold claim right here. It says that all disease at its root is caused by negative Microvita. And the cure? Well, it's not just a pill. It's cultivating positive Microvita through good thoughts and spiritual practices, which are said to literally consume their negative counterparts. Health, from this perspective, is a direct result of winning that inner battle.
All right, let's zoom out. What does this all mean for us, for humanity, for the future? If this theory holds any water, its effects wouldn't just be personal. They would be absolutely world-changing.
We're not just talking about a small adjustment here. We're talking about a complete revolution. The source suggests that every one of these fields, chemistry, biology, medicine, psychology, would be fundamentally rewritten. We'd have to rethink everything from the ground up. And this next idea might just be the most mind-bending of them all. We all learn in school that the carbon atom is the building block of life. Well, this theory flips that completely on its head. It proposes that the carbon atom itself is nothing but a collection of billions of solidified microvita. In this view, matter doesn't create them, they create matter.
Now, the person behind this theory, P.R. Sarkar, didn't just present this as some finished philosophy. He saw it as the starting pistol for a new kind of science. He made this urgent call for massive, immediate research. The task, as he said, is gigantic.
And this quote here, wow, it really sums up the grand vision. A future where the most abstract, elegant laws of mathematics and the messiest, most complex processes of life are finally understood as two sides of the same coin, unified by the science of Microvita.
And that really brings us to the final, powerful question this whole explainer leaves us with. If our thoughts, our intentions, our highest ideals can actually attract these fundamental forces and shape reality from the ground up, then the future isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we are actively building, moment by moment, thought by thought. So the question is, what kind of world will we choose to create?